You think you're lazy. But let me ask you something. If you're lazy, why can you scroll for 3 hours straight without getting tired? If you're lazy, why can you binge an entire series in one night? You're not lazy, you're distracted, and until you fix that, you will keep hating yourself for a problem that was never your fault. Let me explain. You're not lazy, but somewhere along the line, you started believing that you are. You told yourself you lack discipline. You said you have no motivation. You watched other people wake up at 5 a.m., go to the gym, build businesses, read books, and stay consistent, and you quietly asked yourself, why can't I just do it? So you blamed yourself. You called yourself lazy. But what if that's not the truth? What if you're not lazy? What if you're distracted? Think about this. Every time you sit down to do something important, what happens? You pick up your phone for just a second. You open Instagram to check one message. You scroll TikTok for 5 minutes. You check YouTube quickly, and suddenly 1 hour is gone. Not because you're lazy, but because your attention was hijacked. We are living in the most distracted generation in human history. You are not competing with laziness. You are competing with algorithms designed by billion-dollar companies to keep you hooked. Your brain was not built for this. It was not built to fight endless notifications, dopamine triggers, short-form content loops, and constant stimulation. You don't lack discipline. You lack protection for your focus. Let me explain something most people don't realize. Laziness is a personality trait. Distraction is an environmental problem. One means you are broken. The other means your environment is overwhelming you. Which one sounds more accurate? Because if you look at your life carefully, you'll notice something strange. You are not lazy when it comes to watching Netflix. You are not lazy when it comes to scrolling. You are not lazy when it comes to texting someone you like. Your energy is not missing. It's just being redirected. Your brain is choosing the easiest source of dopamine available. And today, that source is everywhere. Every app is competing for your attention. Every notification is a psychological trigger. Every swipe gives your brain a small reward. So when it's time to do something hard, study, work out, build something meaningful, your brain compares it to the easy pleasure of scrolling, and it chooses the easier option, not because you're weak, but because your brain is wired to conserve effort and chase quick rewards. Now here's the painful truth. If you don't control your distractions, they will control your life. Look at your unfinished goals. Look at the habits you tried to build. Look at the projects you started and abandoned. It wasn't laziness that stopped you, it was interruption. Every time you lost momentum, something pulled your attention away. Consistency is not about motivation, it's about managing attention. Let that sink in. The most successful people you admire are not superhuman. They simply protect their focus more aggressively than you do. They design their environment for discipline. They remove friction from good habits, and they add friction to distractions. You wake up and check your phone first thing in the morning. That single habit is stealing your entire day. Because when your brain starts the morning in reactive mode, checking messages, emails, notifications, you lose control of your attention before you even begin. The day starts controlling you, instead of you controlling the day. Now imagine something different. Imagine waking up and not touching your phone for the first 60 minutes. No scrolling, no notifications, just silence. That alone can change your productivity completely, because focus is like a muscle, and right now, most people's focus is weak. Not because they're lazy, but because they never train it. Distraction has become normal. We say things like, I have a short attention span. But attention span is not fixed, it's trained. If you scroll short videos for 2 hours every day, your brain adapts to short bursts of stimulation. Then when you try to read a book for 20 minutes, it feels unbearable. Not because you're lazy, because your brain has been conditioned for speed. You trained it that way. But here's the good news. If you trained it to be distracted, you can train it to focus. And it starts with awareness. Start noticing how often you reach for your phone unconsciously. Notice how uncomfortable silence feels. Notice how your mind craves stimulation when you sit still. That craving is not laziness. It's withdrawal from dopamine overload. And most people never push through that discomfort. They escape it. And every time they escape it, they reinforce the habit. If you want to change your life, you don't need more motivation. You need fewer distractions. You don't need to wake up at 4 a.m. You need to control your inputs. Try this experiment. For 7 days, delete social media from your phone. Not forever, just 7 days. Watch what happens. You will feel bored, restless, uncomfortable. But then something powerful will happen. Your mind will slow down. Your thoughts will become clearer. You will actually start thinking again. Deep thinking is rare now. Most people consume content all day, but never process it. They listen, scroll, react, but they never reflect. And reflection is where growth happens. You say you want success, but success requires sustained focus. And sustained focus requires intentional boundaries. Stop blaming yourself. Start auditing your environment. Is your phone next to you while you work? Is your TV on in the background? Are notifications constantly lighting up your screen? You can't expect deep work in a shallow environment. Discipline becomes easier when distraction becomes harder. Put your phone in another room. Turn off non-essential notifications. Schedule focused work blocks. Use airplane mode. Small changes, massive difference. Let me tell you something that might surprise you. Most people don't fail because they lack ambition. They fail because they lack clarity. And distraction destroys clarity. When you're constantly consuming other people's lives, opinions, and content, you lose connection with your own goals. You forget what you actually want. You start chasing trends instead of purpose. That's not laziness, that's noise. Silence is powerful. When you remove noise, you start hearing yourself again. You remember your goals. You remember why you started. You feel direction, and direction fuels discipline. Imagine if every day you had 3 hours of uninterrupted focus. 3 hours. No scrolling, no switching tabs, no notifications. Just you and your goal. That's 21 hours per week. Over 80 hours per month. Nearly 1,000 hours per year. Tell me that wouldn't change your life. The difference between where you are and where you want to be is not talent. It's focused time. Protect your time like it's money, because it is. And every scroll is a withdrawal. You are not lazy. You are overstimulated. You are overloaded. You are constantly pulled in different directions. But you can take your power back. Start small. Don't try to transform overnight. Choose 1 hour per day of protected focus. No phone, no distractions, just effort. Build that habit, then extend it. Momentum builds confidence, and confidence builds consistency. The world wants your attention, but your future needs it more. So the next time you call yourself lazy, pause. Ask yourself a better question. Am I lazy or am I distracted? Because once you realize the problem is distraction, you can finally solve it. And when you solve distraction, discipline becomes natural, consistency becomes possible, and success becomes inevitable. You were never lazy, you were just distracted. If you find today's video helpful, please kindly hit on the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. Thank you for watching.